Greetings, global Africans. This is King H. I want to have a discussion about an article that I came across, and this is a very interesting article. This article caught my attention, and I wanted to discuss and add my opinions to this article. And this article is about the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, and the event where he had this discussion happened in Australia. It was a business event. And one of the statement that he made was that it says Barack Obama says women could solve many of the world's problems which men have created or which men have caused. It is true that men have caused a lot of problems, but I don't think that um, the women can actually solve the problems that the men have caused. I mean, to my own perspective, it's not completely true that the women could solve many of the problems. No, am I saying that they cannot? What I'm saying is that it could go both ways. You know, you could have more women in power, which I mean, it's a good thing to have more women in power, and I get the idea that Mr. Mr. Barack Obama is trying to push for more women in political position or in power to contribute to the world, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm not knocking that out, but I'm just saying that some of the things that he's saying could go either way. You could have more women in political positions or in power, and nothing changes. You could have more of them, and it changes. It could go both ways. But the fact is that it's a good idea to have a balance between men and women in political position or in power. It's a good idea. The world would be a better place if more women were in charge. Former President Barack Obama says, I don't completely agree with that statement, nor do I disagree. I just think that it could go either way. But I could see the reason why he's making such statements because he wants more women in position. That's it. He wants more women in position. And having more women in position because there are more men in political position in the world, and it's been so negative with what is happening across the world. More needs to be done to find that balance so that we will have less war, less less religious wars or fight between different religion, which one is better and not, and that. I mean, we need a balance in between with that. But my reason for talking about this article is not just about you know the stuff he was saying about women and how they can be influential in helping or changing the world. What got my attention also were the other statements that he made, and which is why I really want to discuss this article. Obama also said that many of the world's problems stem from old people, usually old men, not getting out of the way. Now, this is what got my attention, and this is why I wanted to discuss about this article. I'll repeat the statement again. Obama also said that many of the world's problems stem from old men or old people, usually old men, not getting out of the way. And that is absolutely true. This is what is causing many of the wars, many of the fights, many of the chaos, because you have old men who don't want to step down and who don't have better vision or better structure of how the world has to go. And then with that, you have chaos, you get destruction, you have famine, you have a lot of stuff that's happening, death all over the world because of old leaders who don't want to step down. Former president said that if women were put in charge of every country for the next 2 years, the result will be gains on just about everything. That statement could go both ways. It could either be good or it could either be about the same. So there's no way to actually say that that's absolutely going to happen. You know, but it is a good idea to have a balance in the leadership of the world. It's a good idea to have more women as well as men in power. There would be less wars, kids would be better taken care of, and there would be a general living standard and outcomes. Again, that's President Barack Obama's opinion. It's not, written on stone. It's not absolutely true. That's going to be the outcome. Either the outcome could be either way, or it could be good or bad. Having more women in political power, or it could go either way. If you look at the world and look at the problems, usually old men, not getting out of the way. Obama said, according to BBC report, and that is absolutely true. The old men, especially when it comes to Africa, the old men don't want to step down, don't want to do what the right thing to make sure that the future is hopeful. They only want to stay in power. That is a problem. You have many old leaders who have been in power for so long, who have enough money to retire and enjoy the wealth, but they don't want to do that. Many of them want to die in power. This is creating the chaos that is destroying the world and destroying the youths of the world. When you have people in their late 30s or in their 40s not having the opportunity to do more, because you have somebody who is in his 70s or 80s still hugging on political positions. Meanwhile, he could be enjoying his old age, doing something better, contributing more to the society, teaching more to the society. But they want to stay in power. They cling to power. They are insecure and they have outdated ideas, and the energy and fresh vision and new approaching are squashed. And former President Obama added that. And that is absolutely true, and which is why I wanted to have this discussion. If you look at countries in like Mali, the president is 79 years old. You are 79 years old. Why do you want to continue to be the president? When the country is full of youths, you have people in their 40s, in their 50s that could actually do more to make Mali great. But no, you have a 79-year-old who don't want to step down. In Cameroon, you have President Paul Biya, who's 85 or 86, who has been in power for over 37 years old, close to 37 years, and doesn't want to step down. And he's continuously killing and encouraging the soldiers of La Republic of Cameroon to kill the youths. Many children, many women who are even pregnant have been killed. So many unborn children with their mothers are being killed by soldiers who are in their 20s, 30s, being told by a man that is getting to his dying bed. Don't you find that ridiculous? Don't you find that ridiculous? That is just ridiculous. All people who are in power are the one doing so much chaos, so much destruction in the lives of the youth. The president of Guinea is 80 years old. and he still also want to step down. He wants to still run for presidency. Namibia president is 74 years old. He shouldn't be in power. He should be thinking about his retirement. The president of Algeria is 81 years old. The president of Equatorial Guinea is 76 years old. Africa is a continent of youths, but controlled by old people who want to just die in power. The president of Zimbabwe, the new president, is 76 years old. He shouldn't be in power. When Mugabe was still alive as the president, he had high position. Now he at 76 still, being the president. It just sucks, and that destroys the country, destroys the youth, it destroys Africa. The Nigerian president is 75 years old. That's a grandfather with many grandkids, but he doesn't want to step down. He has many sons who could be a potential leader, but he doesn't want to step down. And this is how Africa grooms, their leadership. They groom their leadership to have grandfathers being the president. We don't need old people being leaders. We need young, vibrant leadership that will change the course of African leadership. The president of Uganda fighting against Bobby Wine, who is 37 years old, who wants to be president. He has jailed him so many times. He's 74 years old. The president of Ghana is 74. He's doing pretty good, but still, we gotta knock down the age. We need leaders who can be at least in the 40s, 50s. At the time you get in 60s, you shouldn't be president. You should be talking about other things that will create a better situation for the country, a better outcome for the country, not trying to still hold on power. The president of Niger is 66 years. Africa needs to change. And one way to change it is making sure that the age gap for presidency should be limited. If you're getting clocked to your 60, you shouldn't even run for presidency. 40 to 59 at most. 40 to 59 should be the right age to run for presidency. After that, you should go and retire and do something else. It's just simple. The leadership, old men who are clinging to power, who don't want to step down, are the ones destroying the future of the world. That they're the ones destroying the future of the world. How many souls have died because of President Paul Biya? And if you look at all the African countries in Togo, how many youths are dying just because of old quacks, old leaders who don't want to step down, who want to stubbornly die in power? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Africa must change. It must. And the youths must stand up to make sure that change happens. Or everything else will continuously happen. People will be running out of Africa or finding greener pasture from different part of the world. Meanwhile, Africa is the gold mine to the world. Africa is a gold mine to the world, but the youths of Africa suffer because we have old leaders who don't want to step down. This is King Ejo. Till next time.